Hey everyone, this is Eric. This video, you're going to find out how you can interact with other Office applications like Excel using VBA and Access, and that's how to do it. So, why you want to do that? Because you want to interact. It's having the whole Office suite allows you to interact and go seamlessly between the applications. And you may want to take an Excel table or Excel Access data and then put it into an Excel format, and where you could, because people are familiar with Excel, so having something in Access that will write to Excel, and that you can output, or you could output all that data in a format that you really want. That's a pretty ideal situation and a useful thing to do. So I'm going to show you that in this video, and we're just going to do it from the very beginning. So File, New, and then it's getting from 0 to 1. What happens? And then we have, let's say, that DB, okay, for lack of just some more creative. So DB, and then I'm going to open it because I have Access 2010 on here, so I want to make sure I open it. But Access 365, and I'm waiting. And from here, we're going to go ahead and import a table whenever this does actually open up. And you can just use the data that's in your database right now. I'm just going to import some sample data whenever this actually pops up. Okay. Alright, good deal. This, enable content, fine. Okay, and then I'm going to do new data source from database, Access, and the database. I'm going to import the tables from, let's see, from where I'm at right now. Northwind. This is on my website, by the way. And then we're just going to take one of these tables here. And as you can see, if you haven't been in here before, you have everything you can choose. But here I'm just you could select it between the various database objects and import them. But I'm just going to import the customers. Okay. Just so I have some sample data, and here now I have some sample data. Bang. Okay, it's all the same thing. So if you want to take this, you could pretty much do this in every application. Let's see, create, and now I'm going to create a form in Design View. I'm going to add a button here, and then I'm going to call the button export customers. Okay, and I'm saving the form, Control S, and I'm calling this export customers. I think I messed up spelling it, but it's a big deal. Export customers, and here I'm going to go into my other and actually name this something. I don't like the name Command 0, so I'm going to make it something different. BTN export, because that's the only thing I'm doing on there. It just allows me to if I look at the code, I see all this command stuff. It's kind of confusing. So that by actually naming it something, it helps me identify what it's actually supposed to be doing. Here I click on event, and it's going to here are all the events I can program for this button right here. On click, and on click, let's see what it's going to do. Okay, for here, what it's going to do, whenever they click on the button, let's say I just want to do something simple and click. That's basically what we're going to do. A lot more than this, but anyway, that's just to show you that, okay, well, we're actually doing something here. So you should get a little box that pops up and click. Okay, good. Well, that was really simple. Alternate F11 brings you back into the window here. Okay, and so now I'm going to have a function that does all the process of creating the Excel file. So it's going to return just an integer value. So int result is integer. Here I'm going to put a apostrophe in front of the message box so that during green I commented on. And then I want to have well, let's just not do that right now. So int result equals something. Let's say Excel export. Something else we haven't done yet. It's not there. And whatever, if the result, if int result, if it's successful, int result equals true or 1, then message box success exported. And if otherwise it fails, message box export failed. And anyway, if I'm talking too much, and just fast forward through it, fast forward to the end, or do the other parts. So Excel export is not created yet. So and actually, if I click on this and I do a definition, it says it's not recognized, which is perfectly understandable. So I'm going to insert a module, and then I'm going to have a function in the module. This is going to it can be used by various objects. So I'm storing it in a module here. I could actually put each of these database objects is a module of its own. So FRM export customer is a module of its own. It's a module. I have this because this may be. It just helps with consolidation. I put everything here. And if I press my down arrow on this, and it's going to return as integer. Or as, let's say, Boolean. It's a yes or no. I don't want Boolean. And then here, I want to make sure that my this is going to be Boolean too. BLN result as Boolean. And here I'm going to change all this stuff because this Boolean export. Okay, we're good. And save it. And Okay, I'm saving that, and the module name here, I'm going to call this BAS for a basic module, Excel, as Excel, and close it. Now, if I, this is an easy way to get to the function, is to see where it's at. If you have a big database with a lot of different objects, double click on it to highlight the function, and right click and choose definition, and it'll go right to it. Okay, now for here, first of all, I want to make sure that I have a record set as record set, just to accept that the object I'm going to export to customers. Okay, I could pass it to the function, but I'm not in this example. Excuse me. Got a frog going on here. And then I'm going to say dim is your SQL as string, and then we'll have all of our other objects. Dim object Excel app as Excel. Well, it's here, so we don't have Excel. So what we're gonna have to do is come up here to Tools and References, and we have all these references here that we can set our object to. Or yeah, because we're collaborating with another Office product, and that if you install Office on your computer, you automatically have access to these. If you have the Office license, you're paying Microsoft, you have all these references. And I'm not going to go over what all these are, but anyway, you'll have a reference to the Microsoft Excel 16 object library, and that's where it is. So I'll put a check mark here. Okay. Now, if I do this as Excel, okay, cool. I have Excel, the libraries there, and then application. So now I'm going to have an Office application. Now I want three things. I want an app, a book, and a sheet. So object. I put object here just because it helps me with the code to figure out. Well, okay, well, I'm using some object now. I don't prefix it with an str, which is a string, or I don't prefix it with RST. Is kind of like, okay, it's accepted. RST, we know that it's a record set. It's not often used. So it's just my personal preference. You can do whatever you like to do. Object Excel book as Excel workbook, and object Excel sheet as Excel. Don't want to do that. Excel dot worksheet. Okay, and then I like to put it. Let's say I want to put some error handling on there too. On error, go to error handler. Okay, cool. Now I'll set my record set equal to. This is just simple stuff because we're just gonna set the record set equal to some other set to the table. So a record set is a set of records. Okay, so the certain set of records in the current DB, which is some DAO thing. Okay, we have a database and it's DAO, so we don't need to be more complex than that. So what you use is what's understood a DAO object, a current database. The access knows itself. It says, okay, well, the current database, whatever the current database is, and then we have open record set and select, let's say we want to just do, so we don't want to do everything. I want to do this column and this column. Well, let's say this one and this one. Okay, just for our example, customer ID, customer name, or customer ID. So like, okay, here we have these have spaces, so we need to make sure that we have brackets in here, and then customer name or company name from whatever the table name is, customers. I think it's the table name, right? Yeah. And company name. Here I'm double clicking. This is not a link table. I can double. It's a local table, so I can just double click it. And copy, and here. Okay, now I have my an error because I'm missing parentheses and ending parentheses. So now you could set this record set to be a query in your database, something that has data in it. So a query has data for a table. And so here we have we can create a query called QRY, like customers with just these two, and you set the database just to that, or you could have put your SQL string in here and open record set and then your SQL string. Now let's loop through these things. If we open this up and it's not the end of the file, RSD end of file, then do something else. No records. No records. So you really don't want to do this unless it has records. And then the function has to return something. So here, I'm going to have Excel record equals false, and Excel record equal. If it does have records, then it's true. Okay, so it's going to return one or the other. And here I'm going to clean it up. I'm just doing this in this order so I remember to do it. Set RSD equal to nothing. Clean it all up. And so my clean up. Again, if you have questions, leave them below. Leave them in the comments area below. And if you like this video or get content, get value for me, make sure you click the like button. And of course, subscribe. All that good stuff. So for here, okay, now we're gonna, if they the record set do until, because we do have records in here, so do until RSD dot end of file, and then RSD dot mute next, and loop. Okay, good deal. So now there are two ways of doing this. Okay, we can either have an Excel template, or we can do the create the entire file in here. The advantage of an Excel template is quicker to code, but you need to remember that you also need to remember the file. Everybody else needs to remember the file. If you're like giving this to somebody, make sure they have the template file, or tell them to create it themselves. Otherwise, you can create the whole thing yourself. You create the entire file by doing this. What we're going to do right now is just create a template in this video. So here I'm creating an Excel template just because it's quicker to deal with. Let's see if I have this, and this is going to be my file, for lack of a better word, file.xls. That's going to be the one I write to, and I'm going to open this up. See, that's why I use OpenOffice, because it opens a little bit faster than these Microsoft products. Okay. So make sure that you could name. I'm going to go down here. Okay, this sheet is called Sheet 1. Okay, that's key to remember. Okay, for here, the advantage, because you just have to change up the Excel file, customer ID, and customer. We do all our formatting right now. Company name. And you may find that, again, you could do this a little bit different. Fine, do it your way, okay? So I would do it. And we have customer ID. These are all formatted here, bold, blah, blah, blah. So we're starting out with cell A2. Or is it right down the list here? So I'm closing this. Now getting back into Access. Okay, for instance, okay, now I gotta set my Excel app. So we do have records here. Okay. Oh, my bad. I have these backwards, so I got this already. If not RC. So if you do have records, it's not an end file. I don't have it backwards. If not RC file, it's set object Excel app equal to. So we have this real key, new Excel dot application. Okay, for one. Now we want to set the book, set object Excel book equal to whatever the app is, object Excel app dot workbooks. So we know that, okay, object Excel app, because we set it as a worksheet, knows it knows that one of the collections is a workbooks, and then we just tell it what workbook we're using. And that one is going to be the workbook. what we could do is to tell it the current project dot path, and then we have oh, we already know what the name is, so it's like file dot xls. That's the name we call it, right? File xls. Yeah, so we're good. And then we have set object Excel sheet equal to object Excel book. Now I have the sheet because, of course, the book has to do with the app, and that the sheet has to do with the book. So in the object Excel book, we have the worksheet. Which worksheet is it? It's sheet 1. That's the name of your sheet. You could make your sheet called customer list. Okay, just make sure that that is shown other than sheet 1. Now I want to be able to see what I'm doing as I go through. So I'm just going to do this object Excel app dot visible. That'll allow me to actually see what's going on. Visible equals true. Okay, it helps in your debugging. As you're going through the, okay, so now we have the Excel app. Let's see what we have so far. I'm going to put a breakpoint right here. And let's see if I can go back here, see what goes on. Okay, label that defined, that's fine. Oh yeah, exit the function if we do have an error in here. Exit the function first, and then we have this, and then we have select case error dot number, and it's gonna, if you do this, these selects, it's gonna break the code. Select case. This is the 1, case 2. I may not do it because I'm recording, but okay. So anyway, I just put these here as the like placeholders. So let's go back here again. So export failed. Well, yeah, you're right. So now, so let's go back to here again. Export failed. So let's see. Okay, so that your database select this idea. Here's a quick way to see if your SQL is actually working. Go up here, take the SQL, and you can go into here and then go into SQL view and then run this. Customer ID, so it didn't like the field. It didn't like company name either. So those are supposed to be labels. So these are not what you see. So I get to go into design view here and see if they have, oh, the no spaces. Okay, understood. I got you now. So, sorry folks, there was a glitch. Anyway, we're back. And I kind of roughed out made the rest of the code work. So, we were at here, set object app equal to a new application, new Excel application, the template file. We created another variable called template, and then made the current project path. We concatenated these two together. Current project path with whatever the current database is in, and then that Excel file we're using. And when we do the object Excel book, we have an app, workbooks, and we're going to add a workbook here using the app, and we're going to call it's going to be inside of the current project folder. And then inside of that workbook, we have a worksheet called Sheet 1. This is your standard default, and like I said, you can name it whatever you want, make it customer list if you want. And then for here, object app visible is true because we want to actually see what's going on. So let's see where we're at right now. Put a little breakpoint in here, and then I'm going to run this here form, my button, see what I'm getting so far. La-di-da. And let's see if it breaks sooner or later. Probably later than sooner. Yeah, this video is taking up a lot of resources, so it's confused about what it's doing. Maybe we can fast forward through this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to pause it. Okay, it is now at the point of object app visible equals true, and we do this just so that just to show the Excel. I like to see if I'm actually doing anything, and what should happen here. I have to pause it again. It'll load the application here, the Excel app. It'll just make it true. And anyway, so I added this variable right here, LNG row. And I'm starting at row number 2. Why did I make this so long? Because Excel has now, with the newer version of Excel, we have 100,000 rows. Before we can get away with it making it's an integer, now we want to be sure. We're probably not going to go up that high, but we don't have 65. We may have under 65,000 rows, normal case. But just to factor in anything above 65,000 rows, we have this long. And then we're starting at row number 2. Okay, hopefully you can, yeah. So here is row number 2. Okay, so we're starting the additional, we're starting data entry at this row. Okay. Then as I go through now, I'm going to loop through my record set here. So I do until record set is false. The first item, we make this on the sheet. We can call the cell or range. Okay, cell is I think it's row and column, and range is column and row. So, and range seems to be easier because, I mean, everybody knows what A is, and then it's row number 2, so A2, and bit B2, okay, A2, B2, and then we're going to set this equal to alf key and the name of the person. Okay, for here we're right to the worksheet, and it wrote all the items to the worksheet, so that's good. And then, as you can see, oh, it's still going. You can watch it in real time. Okay, bang, it goes all through, blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, you're writing to the worksheet. Pretty cool. Whenever it gets done here, I'm going to go back to the code. As you go through, my rows are incrementing. Okay, my rows are incrementing each row, and as my record set, after I move through the record set, so I'm incrementing my Excel count, the row count, and it makes sure that the range and the row, because you have A1. Okay, so it's not like A space 1. A space 2, so make sure your range to kind of look out for that. And then LNG row +1, that's good. And whenever it's actually finished, we're going ahead and looking at, we're cleaning everything up. So my records are to clean up, and I'm setting it to nothing, and then all my objects, my Excel objects, I'm cleaning up. And then to notify that they're actually something's going on, because somebody makes your blank lay at the screen and say, what's happening right now? So we may want to put a caption in there, change the label caption, or have this indicator too. Have a do command hourglass. Have a little hourglass. Everybody's used to that. So here I make the hourglass true, and here I'm making it false. And then whenever this is successful, which it should be, let's see, where's that right now? Oh, it comes up with the exported. Okay. So I'm returning the value here. Return the value of it. It's true now. So we're good. And if you do run into an error, I do have some error handling. Remember, we put this select case here. In the case of the error number, it's 1004, which is if it's a file is missing. So we just tell them to put a file. You need this file. You need Excel. You need file.xlsx. And if not, you don't know what it is. So we want to tell the error so we get better. We can actually use it better diagnose it. And then back to our form. So if it's true, it's exported. If not, it's false. And that's how you do. You can use Excel and collaborate with Access and Excel collaboration. If you have any questions, again, put them there at the bottom of the comments area. Make sure you like and subscribe. That's how can I answer the question, or should answer the question, how can I interact with other Office applications in Excel using VBA and Access. And again, VBA out to it come out to the blog. You can get the code and watch this video again if you want. And if you didn't, if you think the video is too long, make sure that you put it in like super high speed. Put on like speed 2 or something, so you don't have to listen to me. And if you just want the code, go to the blog, get the code. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.